Hello and welcome all dear students to this new video tutorial on topic discussion of homework given in tutorial 10. In the previous video tutorial, I have given you some questions to do it on your own. So let's discuss those questions one by one. The only pre-requirement of this video is you have to go through the video tutorials 9 and 10 given at the following links. In this tutorial, we have discussed about the iterative statements in Python. Means what are looping statements, how are they executed. The link for video tutorial 9 is this, and for 10 this is. This links can be found in the description given below. So let's start with the homework. First question. It was to print the factors of a given number. Example, if number is 6, suppose if n is equal to 6, then its factors are 1, 2, 3 and 6. Now, first of all, open IDLE, and in IDLE, open new file, or you can open the previous file and make changes in it. So this is my file. Now this program says of a given number. Now, first of all, you should understand the language of the question. Meaning of the question, it means factors of a given number. Now given number means the number that will be given by the user, means the number that will be entered by the user. So suppose the number is n, int input enter number. Clear? Now what, suppose I am explaining the logic. What is the logic? Suppose n equal to 6. So how will you find its factors? You will first of all divide the number by 1 and check whether remainder is 0. So for obtaining remainder, there is an operator percent called as modulus operator. So you will mod 6 by 1. If it is 0, it means 1 is a factor. It means 1 is a factor of 6. Then you will mod 6 by 2. Then you will mod 6 by 3. Then you will mod 6 by 4. Up to where you will mod? 6 mod 5 and 6 mod 6. It means you will check its divisibility up to 6, means up to that number. The logic is you will check its divisibility up to that given number. Okay, so this is the logic. It means first of all we should execute the loop for a in range from 1 to that number. Now if I write n, will it be okay or it is incorrect? It is logically incorrect. Why? Because I have told you that whatever the upper limit you give in the for loop is not included while execution. So you have to give n plus 1 so that n is also included. Clear? So for a in range 1 comma n plus 1 1. Now check if that number is divisible by 1. So number is n, mod divisible by means mod, and 1 then 2 then 3, it means a. यानी आप पहले क्या कर रहे हो? You are checking the divisibility of suppose number 6 by 1, then number 6 by 2, then number 6 by 3. So 1 2 3 किसमें store हो रहा है? They are storing in a. So if n mod a equal to 0, it means you have to print the factor. So if n mod a is equal to 0, so n is a factor or a is a factor? A is a factor, then print a. See, the program is completed. Now run the program. Now this is the programming window. This is the output window. Now enter number 6. See its factors are 1, 2, 3 and 6. Now again run the program. Suppose the number is 15. Now its factors are 1, 3, 5 and 15. So here I am including that number also. So what is the logic? First of all, take input of number, then execute the loop from 1 up to that number. So up to that number mein you have to write n plus 1. Now check whether n is divisible by 1, 2, 3 or not. तो divisible के लिए you have to use percent sign, then 1, 2, 3 will be stored in A. So if number is divisible by A, it means if number is divisible by 1, if number is divisible by 2, number is divisible by 3, then it means A is a factor, then print A. Now if I exclude n plus 1, so if I remove n plus 1, then what will happen? That number will not be included. Now when you run the program, see it is not giving 6, although 6 is also a factor of 6. It is not, because the loop is executing from 1 to 5 only. Okay. So the first program is clear. The first program was to print the factors of a given number. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next program. Write a program to print the sum of factors of a given number. For example, if number is equal to 6, then sum will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 equal to 6. You have to print the sum of factors of a given number. Okay. Now here see, you have to find the sum. In the previous tutorial, we have studied how to find the sum of given values inside the loop. So that logic will be applied here, and as well as the factors logic from the above program. It means factors and then find their sum. It means suppose number is 6, then 1, 2, 3 and 6. Now I think so you have to exclude the number. There is one correction, I think so, excluding the number itself. In this program, given number, no, it will be plus 6 equal to 12. Okay, now correction is this. Now run it again. You have to print the sum of factors. You have to print the sum of factors, and suppose if number is 6, then it's the sum of factors will be 2. Now what do you have to do? Now first of all, take the number from the user. Take the input of number from the user. Okay. Now second thing, you have to find the sum. So I have told you that whenever you have to find the sum, take one variable with any name and initialize it with 0. So I am keeping the name sum only. I am taking meaningful name so that the logic can be explained easily. So this sum will this store the factors of a number. Now execute the loop for a in range. It means what we have taken from the above program. We have taken from the above program the execution of loop 1 comma n plus 1 comma 1. It means in the above program we were also executing the loop in this way only. So now in our program we were finding the factor. Now how will you find the factor? If n mod a equal to 0, अगर n mod a 0 है, it means In previous program you were printing a. Now here you have to find the sum of factor. It means sum equal to sum plus, which is the factor, n or a? A. Now again, the most important thing that we have discussed in the previous video, where to write print statement. Just after the sum means just inside the if. See, there are three places. Inside if, or outside if means inside. Okay, I am explaining the logic again. Outside if, it means inside for, and the next option can be outside for. Now you have to decide which line is logically correct. So for this I will explain again. If there is a single line output, so always write the print statement outside the for loop. Now here you are finding the sum. How many sums you are getting? Only one sum you are getting. It means you will not write print just after the sum equal to sum plus a. Neither you will write print sum equal to after the for loop. You will write it outside the for loop. And always leave one line blank so that it is easier to understand that this print is outside the for loop. Now run the program. This is the programming window, and this is the program window. This is the output window. I am giving 6. See, you are getting sum equal to 12. Again run the program. 9. Now the factors of 9 are 1, 3 and 9. Sum is equal to 13. Again run the program. Give 15. The factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5 and 15. So here that number is also included, whose sum of factors you are calculating. Okay. And if you want to exclude that number, simply remove n plus n. Now run the program. Enter number 6, only you will get 6. Okay. Now enter number 9. What you will get? Now factors of 9 are 1, 3 and 9. Now 9 will be excluded, so 1 plus 3 equal to 4. Okay. So what is the similarity between this program and this program? Here the execution of loop is same. See, input same. One additional thing, sum is equal to 0 we have taken. The execution of loop is same. The condition checking is same. Only this line has been changed. So there may be programs whose logics are matching, means whose logics are similar. So next program. Write a program to count the number of factors of number n, excluding the number itself. Now see, again this program is also based on similar logic. Again see, in the first program factors, second program sum of factors, here count the factors. But here you have to exclude the number itself. For example, factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3 and 6, but here you have to exclude 6. So how many factors are there? 3 factors are there. Now how will you count the factors? What is the logic? Suppose n equal to 6. You are doing it manually. First of all, you are checking its divisibility by 1. So 6 mod 1 is equal to 0. It means one factor is found. यानी एक फैक्टर मिल गया हमें. It means you can count on your fingertip It means take one variable and assign it a value as 1. It means we have found one factor. Now again, mod that number by 2. It is 0. Yes. Here I am writing yes. Then count will be 1. Here again yes. Then count will be 2. Now again mod that number by 3. Yes. Then count will be 3. Now again mod that number by 4. No. Now 6 mod 5. 0. No. And we are excluding the number. So we are not checking its divisibility by 6. We are not checking its divisibility by 6. Okay. So what is the value of count? The final value of count is 3. It means there are 3 factors. So the logic is easy. So first of all, build the logic of the program. Then only you will be able to write a program or do programming. Okay, develop logical ability. So what I have done here, I have built the logic, means the mathematical, the steps. First of all, I have divide the number by 1, check the divisibility by 1. If it is 0, then it means count is 1, it means one factor mil gaya. Then check its divisibility by 2, it means count is 2, 3. Now 4 and 5 are not the factors, so the count is 3 only. Now write the program. Now take one variable count and initialize it with 0. Now why I am keeping the name count? I can write C also. But to explain the logic to you all, I am keeping the name of variable count so that you can understood the logic. It means it is counting the factors. Now what is the similarity? You have to execute the loop in the same way, but here you have not to include n. So here you will not write n plus 1. Keep this in mind. You will write only n. Now check divisibility. If n mod a equal to 0, then how will you increase the value? Count equal to count plus 1. Now again, I have also explained you assignment operators. So count equal to count plus 1 can also be written as count plus equal to 1. So both the lines are correct. So you must know both the ways of increasing the value of some variable. You can use either assignment operator or you can use the traditional method. Count equal to count plus 1. Now where you will write print? Only single output. So you will write print after outside the for loop. So you will write number of factors are count. So I think the program is clear to all of you. You have taken the input of number n. You have initialized one variable. Initialize, what is the meaning of initialization? It means you are taking some variable and you are giving some initial value to it. This is initialization. So for a in range 1 comma n, why I am writing n not n plus 1? Because the program says you have to exclude the number. Now if n mod a equal to 0, I think this condition is clear to all of you because you are checking the divisibility of the number one by one. If it is 0, it means you are counting the factors. Now the counting of factors, the value will be single output, so you are writing print statement after the for loop, outside the for loop. Now execute the program. This is the program window and this is the output window. Now give 6. See, the number of factors are 3. We are not including that number. Now 9. How many factors? There are total 3 factors, but including 9. You have to exclude 9. So 2 factors. Okay. Again 15. 1, 3, 5. 3 factors. So is it clear to all of you? Okay. The main advantage of this video tutorial is you can rewind it as many times if you want to understand the logic. Okay, which is not possible in the live class. So here you can again rewind the video, you can again note down the explanation, you can again understand the logic of the program. Okay, next program. Write a program to print the even factors of a number n, excluding the number itself. Now here again the question is based on similar logic. You have to print only even factors. You don't have to include the number. Example, if n is equal to 12, then its even factors will be 2, 4, 6. We are not including 12, although 12 is also even. Okay. So first of all, take input of number n. Now in this particular question, we have to combine two or more condition after if inside the loop that we have already discussed in the previous tutorial under the heading combining two or more conditions after if inside the loop. Okay, you can go through that topic again, combining two or more conditions inside the loop after if. Now execute the loop for a in range. See, here we don't have to find the sum, here we don't have to count the factors, so no additional variable we will take. Now 1 and you have to exclude the number, so write only n 1. Now check the divisibility. If n mod a equal to 0, now one thing more. If n mod a equal to 0 means, what this means? It means that a is a factor of n. Okay. What does it mean? It means that a is a factor of n. Now you have to also check, is it an even factor? Now this you can do in two ways. You may remember the nested if, means you can use if inside another if. So if n mod a equal to 0, you can check if a mod 2 is even. It means if a is even. How will you check even number? Even number, how will you check? You will mod that number by 2. It means if n mod a equal to 0, it means here it means if a is a factor. This means see, if a is a factor, if a is a factor, and here this condition means if a is an even factor. So this is outer condition. When outer condition is true, you are checking inner condition. It means first you are checking whether n mod a is equal to 0. It means where a is a factor, and if a is a factor, then you are checking whether this a is an even factor. If it is an even factor, you will write print a. The program has been done. See, now run the program. Enter number 6. Now the even factors of this number are, the factors of this number are 1, 2, 3. You are not including that number, so only 2 is even. Again run the program. Now 12. See, 2, 4, 6. Now again run the program. Now suppose I give 15. Now there is no even factor of 15. No output is there. Again run the program. 18. Now what are the even factors of 18? 1 is odd, 2, then 3 is odd, 4, no, 5, no, 6. then 9, 9 is odd, it means only 2 and 6. Okay, so have you understood why we have used if inside if? Because first we are checking whether a is a factor, and then we are checking whether a is even factor. Now you can combine this line. So here I am making the comment. Go to format and select comment out reason. Now these lines have been made as comment. Now the second method, for a in range, you have to note down, you can note down both the logics because it will help you further. 1 comma n comma 1, if n mod a equal to 0, now you can combine condition using and also. So you, instead of writing nested if, you can use and combine both the conditions into one. I think this is much easier. For a in range 1 comma n comma 1, if n mod a equal to 0 and a mod 2 equal to 0. Here I am combining two conditions into one using and. Print a. Now again run the program. You will get the same output. Enter number 12 246. Again run the program. 18 2 and 6. Okay. And the last program. Write a program to input any number n and print its factorial. Factorial you all know? Factorial. Factorial of 5 equal to. So generally we write factorial of 5 as 5 and then exclamation mark. It means this is factorial. So factorial of 5 can be written as 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. It means 120. It means हम उस number से लेके, it means you are finding the products of numbers from that number to 1 in decreasing order, or you can also find the product from 1 up to that number. Then also you will get the same output, you will get the same result. Okay, so I am here discussing both the logics. So example is, factorial of 5 can be written as 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 1 equal to 120, or 5 factorial can be written as 1 into 2 into 3 into 5 120. So in the first logic we have to execute the loop in decreasing order. In second logic we have to execute the loop in increasing order. So let's do the second logic, second output first. Okay. Now what are the requirements? This is the program here. Now what you have to take? First of all, you have to take input of number that you have taken. Now to store the factorial, take some variable and initialize it with 1. In the previous tutorial I have told you, then whenever you have to find the sum of values, take one variable and initialize it with 0. But whenever you are finding the product, okay, keep this in mind. Whenever your program needs to find the product, take one variable and initialize it with 1. If you are initializing it with 0, 0 will make the result as 0. Okay. So here I am taking 1, p is equal to 1. Suppose it is 1. Or I can say facto equal to 1. Means this facto is the name of variable that will store the factorial. Okay. To explain the logic more clearly. Now execute the loop. For a in range, I am explaining the second logic. Means I am executing a loop in ascending order. तो second logic क्या कहती है? The second logic says multiply that number from 1 to that number, means find the product of that number from 1 to that number. Okay, so I am executing the loop from 1 to that number, it means n plus 1 comma 1. Now when you find the sum, you write sum equal to sum plus a. Similarly, when you find the product, you write facto equal to facto into a. Now, is it giving single line output or multiple line output? If you write print here, you will get multiple line output. Logically incorrect. So you have to write print outside the loop because only single line output is there. So print factorial equal to facto. Now run the program. Factorial 5. See, you are getting 120. Similarly, the factorial of 4 will be 24. Factorial of 6, 720. Okay, so it is very easy. Now I can explain the logic also. See, here I am opening Notepad to explain the logic. How is it working? Logic. Because it is very compulsory to understand the logic, because you cannot write programs simple by learning them. You can never learn programming. You can never learn the programs because the programs are always not same. You will not get the same programs in exams. Okay, so you have to build the logic, and this logic will be built with lot of practice. Lot of practice means practice in rough copy. Okay, no need to use computer. If you have computer, then very good. But if you have computer, then also you should practice the program in rough copy and then type it in the computer. Okay. Now logic. Here see the logic. Here A, then I am writing facto. Now here A and here upper limit is, and here facto. Now facto is initial value is 1. Okay. Now the first time the loop will be executed, A will be 1. The upper limit you are giving, suppose n equal to 5. So you are giving n plus 1 here, n plus 1. Okay. So n plus 1 is 6. Now facto will be, here you are writing facto equal to facto into a. Now here facto will be initial value facto 1, 1 into 1 equal to 1. Again the value of a will be 2. Upper limit is 6, अभी नहीं हुई है. Again you will get 1 into 2 equal to 2. Now the value of a will be increased by 1. It means it will be 3. Upper limit 6 is not reached. Then you will get facto into a. 2 into 3 equal to 6. Again the value of a will be 4. Upper limit is not reached. You will get 6 into 4 equal to 24. Again the value of a will be 5. Upper limit is not reached. You will get 24 into 5 equal to 120. Again the upper limit the value of a will be increased by 1. Upper limit is reached. Loop is stopped. So what is the final answer you are getting? 120. So keep this in mind. Whenever you find the sum, you write sum equal to sum plus value. Sum equal to sum plus, you write value. Similarly, when you find the factorial, you write that variable equal to variable into value. Now value here is a. And why I am writing print factorial outside the loop? Because the output is coming on a single line only. So this is the first logic. Here we are executing the loop, executing the loop in ascending order. Now this particular question, factorial, this you should know by heart, because this factorial logic will be used in the coming topics also. So if you do not know how to find the factorial, you may not be able to write those programs. So these all programs are important. In the next video I will give you some more questions which are based on this logic. Okay, clear? Now the second logic. So again I am making this as comment, and I am again taking int input enter number. Okay, now facto equal to 1. Now for a in range, so what I am doing here, I am finding the factorial in descending order, means I will multiply the numbers from that number to 1. Okay, so for a in range, and here you have to execute loop from n to 1. So what you will write here, 0, and in descending order step value is negative. So is that clear? Okay, so I am doing the second program. See, here you have to find the factorial like this, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Suppose the n is 5. It means you will execute the loop from n to 1. Now if you write 1, then 1 will not be included, so write 0, and in decreasing order step value should be negative, so that you must write -1. It means the value of a will be decreased by 1 each time. Okay, now again the formula, facto equal to facto into a. Now outside the loop print factorial equal to comma facto. Now run the program, enter the number 5. See, you are getting 120. Okay, I am running the program again. This is the output window, give 6, 720. Now here I will explain the logic once again. See, how is it working? Here this is a, then you are taking, suppose this is a, then n, then lower limit, and then facto. Okay, now the value of a is, here I am writing facto equal to facto into a. Now a is 1, the n is suppose 5, suppose n equal to 5. Now lower limit is 0. So now here n है, n से loop चल रहा है, so n is 5, it is not equal to lower limit, so facto equal to facto into a. Now facto is 1, and what is a? Sorry, here a is equal to n. Here I don't have to write n. Okay, now this is the program. See the logic. Suppose you have taken n equal to 5. Now here you are writing for a in range n. It means the value of a will be equal to n. N means 5. Lower limit is 0. So 5 is not equal to 0. So equal to 5 into It means factor into 1. So 1 into 5 equal to 5. Now here you are giving step value minus 1. It means the value of a will be decreased by 1. It will be 4. Lower limit is 0, not reached. So here it will be 5 into 4 equal to 20. Again the value of a will be 3. Lower limit 0 is not reached. Here it will be 20 into 3 equal to 60. Are you getting the point? Then the value of a will be 2. Lower limit is not reached. Here 60 into 2 equal to 120. Then here 1, lower limit is not reached. Here you will get 120 into 1 equal to 120, and again 0, lower limit is reached, loop is stopped. So I hope so that you all must have understood these programs. So do it on your own again, because until and unless you practice the programs on your own, you will not learn how to write programs. Okay, so when you write your program yourself, you may find that you are making errors. So you may be able to remove those errors, because in practical exams, you have to remove the errors yourself only. Otherwise, the time will be wasted and you may not be able to complete your programs. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, I am discussing some more programs. Two programs are very important. Now, see, we have done how many programs on the similar logic? We have done one program factors, second program factors, third program factors, fourth program factors. Now there are two more programs that are based on same logic, and these programs are also very important, because in the coming topics these programs will be done again but in a different fashion. Some programs on for loop. Now if I ask you to write a program to input any number n and check whether it is a prime number or not. It means input any number n and check whether it is a prime number or not. Now you know what is a prime number. A prime number is a number that is divisible either by 1 or itself. You all know prime number can only be divided by 1 or itself. It means, in other words, it has only two factors. So what is the logic? So what is the logic of this program? Logic of the program. So first of all, you should build the logic. It means first count the factors of a given number. It means first count the factors of a given number, then check whether then check if there are two factors, then print prime, else print not prime. See the simple logic. Now this program you have already done, how to count the factors of a given number. Okay, just now we have done this program, how to count the factors of a given number. So let's proceed with this program. Open IDLE. I am opening the previous program. So first of all, take input of number. Now you have to count. So for counting, you take one variable count equal to 0. Now execute the loop for a in range 1 comma n plus 1. Those also include that number, because prime numbers क्या होते हैं? That are divisible by either 1 or itself. It means it has only two factors. Two factors. Okay. So for a in range 1 comma n plus 1, if n mod a equal to 0, so increase the value of count. So this program we have already done. We are executing the loop from 1 to that number. We are including that number. We are finding the factor. If a is a factor of n, this condition means if a is a factor of n, then count it. Now when the loop is terminated completely, now check whether this factor means whether this count is equal to 2. If is it true, then print prime number, else print not prime. Now see, 1 is not a prime. Keep this in mind. Note, 1 is not a prime number. It is co-prime. So you can apply condition here also. If count equal to 1, print co-prime, and L if count equal to 2 prime number, else not prime. Not a prime number. Okay. Now this is the program and I am running it. See, enter a number 6. Now the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3 and 6. There are 4 factors, so it is not a prime. Okay. Now give 2. 2 has only 2 factors. It is prime number. Again give 3, prime number. I am interchanging it. This is the program. This is the output window. Okay. Now again run the program. Give 17. It is a prime number. Again give the 15. 15 is not a prime number. And again run the program and give 1. See, here 1 is printing co-prime. So this is the extension. This program is an extension of which program? It is an extension of program to count the factors of a number. So this loop is counting the factors of a number. What this loop is doing? It is counting the factors of a number, and this part is checking whether these factors are 2. If the number of factors are 1, it means it is co-prime. If number of factors are exactly 2, it means it is prime. And if it is not exactly 2, it means it is not a prime number. Okay. So whenever you have to check this logic, prime number, this is the simplest logic. There are other logics also, but this is much simpler. Okay. So stick to this logic only. Okay. For finding the prime numbers only. Now the second program says input any number n and check whether it is a perfect number or not. Whether it is a perfect number or not. Now what is perfect number? A perfect number is a number which is equal to the sum of its factors, excluding the number itself. Are you getting this point? It is a number which is equal to the sum of its factors. Now this program we have already done. We have already done how to find the sum of factors, excluding the number. For example, 6 is a perfect number because if we find the sum of its factors 1 plus 2 plus 3 and not including 6, you will get 6. Similarly, 28 is also a perfect number. The factors of 28 are 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, and we are not including 28. You will get the sum 28. So sum of its factors excluding the number itself. Now what is the logic here? Logic of the program. First find the sum of factors excluding the number itself. Okay, and the second is check whether this sum is equal to the number. If yes, then print perfect number, else print not a perfect number. It's okay. So let's do it. First of all, we will take input. So I am taking input here. Okay, clear? Now to find the sum, I am taking one variable and initializing it with 0. Now execute the loop for a in range 1 comma n plus 1 or 1 n. Okay, should we write n plus 1 or n? We are excluding the number, so write n. Now check whether n is a is a factor of n mod a equal to 0. If it is 0, then sum equal to sum plus a. So this loop is finding the sum of factors. So here I am finding sum of factors. Now outside the loop, check whether this sum is equal to the number. If sum is equal to the number, print perfect number, else print not a perfect number. Now see, I am writing 12. Now 12 is not a perfect number. Again run the program. I am writing 6, perfect number. Again run the program. 28, perfect number. Again run the program. 56, not a perfect number. Okay. So these three programs you should know by heart. First is how to find the factorial. Next, how to check prime number. And number 3, how to check perfect number, because these three programs you will be studying in the coming topics also. Okay, there is one topic, nested loops. So in that topic you will be doing these programs again, but with again different logic. Okay. Okay. So that's all for today. In the next video lecture, we will discuss the iterative statements in Python part 3, in which we will discuss the working of while loop. Okay. In the beginning, I have told you that iterative statements can be of two types, for loop and while loop. So the second one, while loop, we will discuss. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Take care and goodbye.